Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and this is my July book haul. I bought 15 things this month, which is not super overkill, but it's also not probably what I normally would do. I did buy a few extra books here and there just because I was feeling like it, and I did it because I had the money. Anyway, so 3 books I did have pre-ordered, so they were planned purchases. The first one was Lost Boy by Christina Henry. This is a Peter Pan retelling. Fantasy. So I'm kind of curious to see how this works. I think it's from Hook's perspective. She did a really good job on Alice and the Red Queen. Those books were based off of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. So I really enjoyed those books. The way she changed what would after you've read Alice in Wonderland and twisted it. So I'm hoping she does the same thing with Peter Pan. I forced myself to read Peter Pan for the first time last month. I did not enjoy it, so I'm really hoping I love this book because I made myself read Peter Pan, but I still like this author, so I'm really hoping that I like the book, but, we'll have to see how that goes, because again, Peter Pan, I don't know, Tinkerbell, not sure how it's going to go. Another book that I pre-ordered is the 3rd book in a series. It's called Wildfire by Iona Andrews. It's a hidden legacy novel. So it's a urban fantasy with magic, and the world knows that there's magic. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the first book, Burn for You, 2 years ago when it came out, and then nothing came out. They kept pushing the date out, and so finally the second book came out a couple months ago, and the titles went right on my head. Anyway, this is White Hot. So then this book just came out, a couple months after that. So I don't know if it's just a trilogy. I actually forgot to look that up. I don't know. But I'm probably going to try to read these in a row now, like reread the first one and then read the next 2. Because now that I have them, because I want to know what happens. It was just so funny. The family is so cute, the main character's family. And they're funny. Very, very funny. And then the main guy is just hilarious because he's this big, powerful guy in this world with magic, and he's so clueless about so much. It was just so much fun. Anyway, so I really want to see what happens with the story. So anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. I also got a graphic novel that I pre-ordered, and it's Rivers of London Black Mold, which is the 3rd graphic novel set that came out based on his books, the Peter Grant stories. It's an urban fantasy about a cop in London that's kind of does all the weird X-File kind of things. So jobs and stuff. So I really enjoy the series. I've only read a couple books. Again, the first book is Midnight Riot in the U.S., and I think elsewhere it is Rivers of London, which it really should be called because it makes sense when you read the book. But I've only read a few of the books. I'm actually kind of behind. And so actually in September we're doing Midnight Riot or Rivers of London as the book for my book club. So I'm probably going to reread it and then hopefully reread the second book and then continue on and try to catch up. So these graphic novels take place between, I don't know if it's between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6. One of those books, they're in between. So I actually have 3 graphic novels I haven't read. I own them all because I wanted them, but I can't read them because they're too far ahead in the series. So I'm hoping to catch up on that series and also get to read the graphic novels now that I own them all. Oh well. So then I bought a couple books at my favorite new and used bookstore, Powell's. I'm lucky to live in Portland, Oregon. And I got The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arman. And I don't know a whole lot about this, except it's one of those books that I've heard about for a long time. And I think there's a movie or 2 based, off of this. I know it's about some women who go to the Italian Riviera, and they're kind of not coming of age, but coming into their own kind of story. I don't know. It just sounded really interesting, and I heard it was good. So I'm taking a chance, but it sounded interesting, and I figure if there's people talking about it, maybe I should try it. So we'll see. I don't know. Have you read it? Is it good? I don't know. We'll find out. Another book I got was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Heard a lot about this on BookTube. I mean, this is one of those really hyped up books that almost everybody loves. I only remember ever seeing one or two people say they did not care for it. So I thought I'd take a chance on it. I wasn't attracted to it at first, I think when I first started hearing about it, but the more people talked about how good it is, so I don't know if this is kind of like a hyped book for me. I'm not sure how I feel about it, if I'm going to like it or not, but I'm interested to try because it is a sci-fi and it talks about going to space, and I'm willing to give it a shot. It's just, again, I'm a little fearful because so many people have said good things about it that I'm worried that I'm not going to feel the same, but I'm going to take the chance. So I bought the copy. I bought a fantasy, The Dragon Lord's Fool's Gold by John Hollins. I found this on the sale rack. And I thought it sounded funny. It's like, kind of like I said, the Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with The Hobbit. And I thought, okay, I like both of those, so what the heck. And it sounded funny because it was talking about some misfits who try to steal from the dragon, and I guess the dragons are in charge of everything. So it sounded kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of big, but I'm kind of interested to see what happens. It just sounded funny. And again, I picked it up, and then I swear it was like a couple of days later, I saw it on a couple channels. I think it was Kitty G and is it Bitten by a Radioactive Book? Is that how his channel goes? I think he bought a copy of that too. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. Anyway, I bought it right before I saw it on their channel. So anyway, another book I got was The Power by Naomi Alderman. This just won the wrong one. The Bailey's Women's Fiction Prize, I think. I believe I don't know how it goes. It's Bailey's. Anyway, I got this free. It's a ARC that somebody had, and they put it up in my book club that we can take them. So I grabbed this because I thought, well, if it won a prize, it might be interesting. I know that it's kind of mixed on some of the people who did read this, so I'm interested enough to read it to see how it goes. I hear it's a pretty fast read, so I don't know. I thought it was free. I'll give it a shot, right? And now I will talk about the books I got from Book Depository. As I said, I've heard about it for the last few months. I didn't know anything about that site at all, and then people were talking about it, and so I looked it up, and then I stopped myself. That and Book Outlet. I've not gone to Book Outlet yet. I'm still scared about Book Outlet. I don't know. I just haven't done that yet. I've looked, but I've not bought anything. But I bought a couple things on Book Depository earlier this month because I just did. I wanted to try some things. So anyway, so the first order I got a short story collection, Stories of Your Life and Others by Ted Chiang. I bought this because I'm trying to get into short stories a little bit more. If you watch me, have you seen any of my other videos? If I ever read a short book or a short story, I always say I want more. And I do have trouble with short stories and short novels because of that. I always want more. I always want it longer, even though, hey, some books are just really long, and it really takes a long time to read them when they're that long. But I really want to understand the power of a short story and actually enjoy them. And I have not found short stories that I really enjoy. I mean, there's a few over the years that I found, but really, I'm always dissatisfied overall. So I got a couple of other short story collections in the last couple months, and I just got this one in order to try. And I'm going to try to do, at some point, I'm going to do some kind of short story challenge for myself to try to read some short stories in a month, like maybe every couple days, or in a week I have to read so many, and try to do that. I don't know. Do you guys like short stories? I have such problems with short stories. I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously not an attention span thing because I like really long novels. It's just, I don't know. There's something about short stories. I have trouble with them. So I bought that because I heard so many good things about those short stories. And again, one of them's that was used for the movie Arrival. I have not seen that, but because I wanted to read the short story first. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I also bought Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I heard about this like a couple of months ago on someone's channel, and then I think earlier this month or end of June, I heard a lot of people several people talking about it, and I guess it's going to be made into a movie or something. I'm not actually sure which, it was a movie or TV. But I thought, hey, I'll take a chance. I don't usually just buy books just because of that. This sounded really funny about a girl who goes to her boyfriend's home, I guess in Singapore, to meet his relatives and all the craziness that ensues. And I guess they must be crazy and rich because it talks about her going to and from places and in cars and in planes and all those kind of things. Anyway, it sounds I hear it was really good. I guess it's a trilogy. I don't know. I just bought the first book just to try. And I thought it would be if I feel like a quick, easy read. It just sounded like it. I hope it is. It sounds fun. I also got the Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. Again, another book that I heard a lot about in the first couple months that I was watching YouTube, and really was intrigued about this, but it wasn't out in the U.S., and I kept putting it off because I'm like, well, I have to wait. And then it finally came out here, and it's like in hardback. And I'm like, no, Book Depository. So I bought a paperback. I'm not big on hardbacks, I've said before. There's only a few books or authors that I buy hardbacks for. Actually, there's really only two. And then, or if it's a used book, that's a different story. But like new. So all I know about this one, I know enough about it that because it's a historical fiction about a woman who's recently widowed and moves to the country with her son, and there's some rumors about the Essex Serpent, which is pretty much a mythical creature. So it has to do with her meeting people in the area and all their ideas and views on probably life and the Essex Serpent. So I don't know. I hear a lot of people liked it. I'm really interested to find out if I do like it because it just sounded cool. Another one that I heard a lot about is The Unseen World by Liz Moore. This one I held off buying for a really long time because I'm still not sure how I feel. Like, again, it's one of those ones I know it's going to be probably gut-wrenching near the end because it has to do with a young girl whose father is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I think it's them dealing with him losing his memories and things like that and stuff she has to find out. I don't know, things in the past. I'm not sure enough. As I said, it's one of those ones where I listened, but I stopped listening because I didn't want to know too much about the story before I got it. So this one I got from the Book2athon code. It was the only one on the list that I was remotely wanted to read. So I thought I would try it, and since I got a couple more, another $1 or so off, it was hopefully worth it. We'll see. As I said, a lot of people have liked it, and I'm interested enough. So this book is one I really just kind of leaped at. And I think it's just because I just saw it on some people's channels, was The Proof of Love by Catherine Hall. And I think I saw it on like Savage Reads and Mercy's Bookish Musing. And I think even I just saw it on Lauren in the Books I think she just read it as well. So I was like so many of those British booktubers that I watch a lot of, and really am starting to actually buy a lot of the books that they talk about, which, again, I'm kind of going to this literature mode, which is kind of nice to kind of go back to after been reading mostly fantasy and mysteries for many years. So it's kind of different. Anyway, so the only thing I know about this, I know I keep saying that, but I really only like to go in knowing a little bit, is it's in the 70s, and a man is taking a leave from his job at a college and going to or at a university and going to the Lake District, I guess, in England. And I don't know if he's hiding out or he's just trying to do something different for a while. And it's how he deals with people he meets there and the aftermath of whatever happened before he left. So I've just heard they all rave about it, so I was interested to read it. And it wasn't super long, and it again, I'm afraid it's going to be another one of those gut-wrenching books, but I thought, I took a chance. And then another one I took a chance on was The Tile Zone by Sarah Moss. And again, one I've heard a lot about on a lot of booktubers' channels, that especially ones who read a lot of literature and classics. And I just wanted to try a Sarah Moss book, and this is the one that I thought, well, I'll try this one. This one they've talked about a lot about. And all I know is about is the girl who collapses, I think, and then it's the aftermath of what's wrong with her family and stuff. So anyway, I hope it'll be good. I don't know. We'll see. This is another one of those. And then I bought a couple classics just because I'm trying to said literature. Then I thought, oh, I should get some classics because I watched a couple of videos on people's classics that you should start out with, and most of those I've read because I do have a bachelor in English, and so I've read a lot of stuff. But there's certain periods and there's certain authors that I just never touched. So I picked up The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I really like these book covers. It's not why I bought it, but it just happened to be. Anyway, it was I've read one Bronte sister. I've read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I have not read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm not attracted to that novel at all. So I don't know if I'll ever read it. This book, though, it sounded kind of interesting about a woman with her son moves into this hall and how the community deals with her being there and who they think she is and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of small town-ish kind of drama, I think. Anyway, but I've never read Anne Bronte, so I thought I'd give it a shot and see if I like her. We'll find out. And then the last one I got was I picked up kind of a mystery one, or Gothic, Victorian Gothic thriller, I guess, and that's The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I've never read anything by Wilkie Collins. I'm taking a big chance on this one because I don't have any idea. I didn't realize it was so big either. But all I know, it has to do with, so they talk about a teacher who has an encounter with a ghostly woman figure. And I'm probably going to hopefully read this in October, like for Halloween kind of stuff. But it sounded really cool. And I, want to read some more classics that I haven't gotten to. So I thought I did. Anyway, so that's my whole book haul. There's a lot of books here, a lot of literature. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much, and a couple of contemporaries, and I'm like, this is so not me. If you notice, the pre-orders are all like fantasy, so that's kind of, I'm trying to switch it up, I guess, and try some new things, and get, exposed to a lot of different kind of books, and I guess that's the best thing I've found out about BookTube is, even though, yes, I bought a lot of books I probably could have held off on buying, they're all books now I really want to read, and they're all different. So I can, as I said, I'm a mood reader, so I can read any one of those, and it'll, when it strikes the mood, and it'll be good. So anyway, so if you guys read any of these books, anything I should focus on, or something that you really liked, so let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.